Hello, this is Tom and welcome to Long Draw. Today we will be looking through this piece and my playback of it. Since I use IBIX Paint, it's limited to only 5 minutes. The setbacks I had in drawing not only a dynamic pose, but an interesting but subtle background were a challenge that took me a day. Already you could see I had some design problems. My first piece of advice is get a sketch out before you refine it. Don't give up because the sketch isn't perfect. You can always just make another layer and try again, using your previous mistakes as building blocks to create a new start. As you can see now, I'm into the measuring section where I make sure all the proportions are right. Fingers are tough. It took me a while to get even as far as I did, and I'm pretty decent at it, I would think. We are now officially in the refining stage, where this is at least somewhat close to the last sketch. From the judging of my playback, it probably is. I was actually pretty proud of the shoes and feet. I'm not usually too good at that. The thumb is pretty good as well. That's another thing. Never forget to appreciate your own art. Even if you think it's trash, you can always look for the good part of it. Look at what you're proud you were able to do. I was proud of that thumb, for example. That is a very nice thumb. I'm very happy with it. Now I'm on to my problems with color. That's an entirely different issue. While we're waiting for the playback to catch up, I think it's only fair to share my philosophy on teaching art. I've been at this for a while, and I don't think there's one way you can teach art. Fully, anyway. I think the only true way you can is in the philosophy. How to never give up at what you're passionate about. Even if it sucks, you can't stop improving. The only person you need to outshine is yourself. And that's enough lecturing from me. My quick tactic on shading, it's pretty easy. You either use a deep red that's deeper than the character's tone, or a deep purple, same thing, and then change the layer type. It's a quick way to be assured, but don't just throw out the old way. It can be helpful sometimes for more minute details. As for the background, I kinda winged it. Get it? But what I used is I used a more paint-like brush at my disposal to create a loose, almost blurry type coloring. I did the coloring first, but because I want to add a braked line to outline it later on. If you've seen shows like Steven Universe or Hilda, they use this theme prominently to make it look like the background blurs itself, meaning I don't need to just create a new layer off of the canvas and manually blur it. It already does that job for me. So you'll focus on the subject because intrinsically it is different from both the line and color of the background. Here's another lesson. Your style is inescapable, but doesn't mean you can't learn from others. I use Spider-Man to help me draw the background. It's great if you're bad at cityscapes, trust me, I am. But you can always learn how to copy your idols. Not steal, copy. Find a way to make it your own. If you like how someone draws a nose, attempt to draw that nose. If you like how somebody draws an ear, attempt to draw their ears. Trust me, I have like 30 versions on how to draw an ear. It's all about what works for you and what works for your style. More on that point, you can use different versions of the same thing for different purposes. I use more anatomically correct noses on more detailed works, but less anatomically correct when I'm making more cartoony stuff. Never forget, several layers of shading are your friends. While you're at that, remember to never stop improving.